Hello everyone, this is Crode giving you a shoutcast in Game 2 in a series between Fanatics Sen and SlayerSBoxer here on Metalopolis. And very interesting that even though this is the NASL version of Metalopolis, you can still have ally spawns. So yes, these replays are a little bit older. This replay was back from patch 132, and I don't remember my patch notes going back that far, so I don't really know what was changed in terms of balance. But perhaps was that Archons are not massive units, and they do not and their range is a little bit shorter, but that probably won't come into play at all, as we now see an Overlord making its way out over here. Now with ally spawns here on Metalopolis, it is much you more often than not have an advantage for the non-Zerg player. The Zerg player normally wants to set up a strong economy, wants to try to set up a hatchery, get a strong economy running, get a strong economy going, and then being able to just get that worker economic advantage and be able to deal a lot of damage. But because of the close walking distances between this ramp here and this ramp here, what you're going to see is perhaps a lot of early aggression coming in from Boxer. You can see a barracks now being built over here. So interesting that a barracks being built over here. Boxer perhaps expecting that it is going to be a far spawn, and now making his way out with this one SCV. Perhaps he doesn't know that this map can actually have an ally spawn, as we are now going into a hatchery down over here as well. The second barracks now being placed down here, and this is not going to be nearly as close to his opponent as he would like it to be. Yeah, a little bit of a miscommunication. Normally, this does work out against a Zerg player on Metalopolis, but because it is not going to be a close ally spawn, or because it is a close ally spawn, these Marines are actually going to be walking in, or have a little bit more walking time before they reach their final destination. Marines now being trained up. They will perhaps rally off over here. SCV now going to come up that ramp, quickly see that there is no creep, come back over here, quickly see that there is no creep as well. And then by process of elimination, Boxer is going to know where exactly his opponent has spawned, and then perhaps try to react and respond accordingly. Double Marines now being queued up, a Marine and an SCV, and making their way out over here. It looks like Boxer does realize that it is going to be an ally spawn here, as the SCV comes down into this location, doesn't spot a hatchery, walks up the ramp, doesn't spot a hatchery either. And now you finally see an SCV does spot this hatchery down over here. And we'll see what can be done. There is a drone nearby. That drone, or those drones, going to perhaps shut down all of these Marines. 8 Zerglings now trying to be getting queued up, as a Queen also being added as well. It's always interesting watching some of these older replays, as you know, as the metagame isn't as nearly as developed. You can see right there, oh, a double bunker. Is it can actually, yeah, double bunker now coming in right there. And this is pretty interesting that the Marine is not going to be able to come in on the near side there. You can see that the spine crawlers are coming in as well. Zerglings may try to swarm around here. The bunker build time is 40 seconds, not 35. So the bunkers are still take a little bit of time to build, as those Zerglings just dancing back and forth. Bunkers also salvage back to what, 100 minerals, as a Marines are now trying to shut down one of those bunkers. It looks like one spine crawler may get taken down. SCV is coming over to engage that one low hit point. Marine perhaps needs to jump inside and stay in that bunker, as this one spine crawler is within range, and now unable to really do anything about this. SCV is just constantly trying to repair. This is not looking good at all. But the SCVs at least will be able to prevent any more units from being able to make their way in, trying to salvage that bunker. It looks like that bunker will be salvaged with no issue whatsoever. Down it goes, and now Sen has more than easily held off this attack, but he is behind on workers. But we also see Boxer having a lot of these workers here. They really need to return home. 4 SCVs can really do a lot of mining here, as the Marines now trying to fight back against the rest of those Zerglings. SCV is also trying to engage as well. The Zerglings being forced to turn around, as we are now getting into a second command center as well. So Boxer going into a double command center. Perhaps he will be able to train up even more units, as the Marines are still getting queued up. A very large army by Boxer, 550 mineral army. But you have to remember, there are some spine crawlers here, some Queens, and those spine crawlers really absorb a lot of damage from those Marines. Marines only deal 6 damage per attack. They do have a high attack rate, but that armor on those spine crawlers, base 2 armor, reducing the amount of damage from 6 down to 4, which is a 33% drop off. We can see that the Spine Crawlers are now trying to reposition themselves. Perhaps a Creep Tumor will be laid down at some point, as the Queen does have a fair amount of energy. Once again, spawning more larva as the Marines are now trying to come in from the top side. It looks like those Marines going and getting some damage onto some of the Spine Crawlers. The Spine Crawler will fall, and now perhaps going to hug along this backside location here, and perhaps even snipe down the hatchery. This is going to be very interesting. The Overlords may get taken down. Zergling's now trying to come in, as the one Queen now down. A second Queen may get taken down. Drones now coming in as well. Drones falling left and right. The Overlord does get shot down there. And Sen really having to deal with a lot of Marines behind his mineral line. A very, very difficult proposition. These Marines shutting down drone after drone. Perhaps going to focus down on a Queen. No, unable to do so, as the Queen able to back off. And the drones have finished off this Marine threat. 9 workers killed though. 27 SCVs versus 19 drones. We can see now 4 barracks adding in a factory as well, attempting to take that natural expansion location, getting those double bunkers down. A very, very easy way to try to make sure that your expansion does stay up. And a lot of Zerglings just getting shot and destroyed there. So Boxer getting a bit lucky with the micro miscontrol of Sen, as Sen needs to figure out what his long-term goal and strategy will be. A Creep Tumor has been placed down as well. We do have a Roach Warren. So this Roach Warren, perhaps we'll train up some Roaches. Roaches very strong against both Marines and Hellions. But this is part of patch 132, and I do not think that Hellions were really part of the meta play at this time. A lot of Marine tank, a lot of Banshee tech, no real use of Hellions at all, as an Overlord now shot down once again. Looks like the Marines looking to get even more damage. Now going to get some damage onto the hatchery, and this Roach trying to engage, not going to be able to engage very easily at all. The Roach now trying to go after one Marine. That Marine dangerously low on hit points. It looks like it may get taken down, as a Spine Crawler now coming in as well. The Queens and the drones and the Roaches now trying to come in. One Roach will get destroyed as well. The Roach is still continuing to push. The drones now trying to finish it off. The drones being very smart, pulling away at the last moment in order to free up the moon, free up some room for those Roaches and those Queens to get within attacking range. And now Sen still training up more units. We are still sitting at tier 1. But so far, Sen really being able to macro back into this game. 37 food, 37 drones, army compositions. We see Sen actually with the larger army force at this time. We are going into the tech lab, but the tech lab stim pack still hasn't been started. Combat shield hasn't been started either, as the Roach is now coming along that backside, shutting down the SCVs. One SCV now destroyed. Another SCV may get destroyed, as the Roaches are now trying to engage. It looks like the Roaches are going to be able to push and fight and deal a lot of damage back to these Marines. The Marines not really able to do very much at all, and down goes, no, that Roach able to survive at 9 hit points. Perhaps a Burrow will be coming in later, as those Roaches continue to just put more pressure. The Roaches need to attack the same target, otherwise they will not be able to deal that much economic damage. The Marauders are finally here. Marauders shutting down those Roaches, and there they go. Zerglings, Roaches in midfield. We are now, no, still not taking the tier 2, no Glio reconstitution at all, so no movement speed on those Roaches. We are now taking to a 3rd base by Sen though, so Sen running off of 3 bases, hoping to get a strong economic lead. We'll see if that will make its way in, as we are now going into Marines. Tanks already have that siege tech. Medevac also being added as well. So this is your standard Marine tank play, as we are now getting a lot more reactor Marines into play as well. A bunker slowing down, or a concussive cell slowing down. No concussive shell yet, excuse me. So no concussive shells, just a Punisher grenade followed by a Crucio shock cannon blast, able to take down that poor Zergling. Ooh, a nice drop now trying to come in. It looks like the Queen will be able to drop in just a moment. Will it actually get enough damage is the key question. There's too many units on the low ground, as Boxer just simply flies by. Taking a look at the worker kill, were 13 worker kills compared to 5. Sen, however, trying to claw his way back into this game. A lot of Zerglings now being trained up once more, and we may get another Baneling bust on this front door. Banelings deal a lot of damage to barracks as well, dealing more damage to a fortified or a structure building as opposed to a non-structure building, as the Banelings looking to perhaps move out and shut down this front door location. There are some siege tanks here as well, so this is going to be interesting whether or not the siege tanks find their target and shut down those banelings. The banelings are rather expensive units, and once you use them, obviously you can't use them again. There is that siege tank line. Those banelings deciding to back off. It looks like we may get a creep tumor down as well. Yes, a creep tumor now being added in order to increase the movement speed on those banelings. Banelings, I believe, move at the same speed as a stimmed marine or close to it. I think of what, 325, as the Zerglings now just hiding off over here. Banelings and roaches trying to reposition themselves. And we also have a third queen now being built at the gold mineral patch. Overlord hiding off over here. It doesn't look like Boxer's really doing anything at all. Level 1 armor upgrade coming in. Supply depots nowhere near being supply blocked. 138 food versus 117, as this marine tank army with being able to deal a lot of damage, splitting themselves up in order to try to make a bit of a push. There are some siege tanks over here. The siege tanks would normally be able to shoot up onto that high ground. That is no good at all. There's a scanner sweep. And it looks as though the banelings may perhaps try to come back in. The banelings do not have movement speed just quite yet. Yeah, still no movement speed. You check the tier 2 about to be completed. So perhaps the baneling movement speed will come online and they'll be able to roll into their target straight. Banelings now barely finding their target and a lot of damage dealt. Marauders still fighting back against the rest of those roaches. Roaches getting destroyed. And it looks as though Boxers should be able to handle this expansion pretty easily. But no, in comes some Zerglings, and Zerglings being able to finish off a lot of those high ground units, but the Marines and the Marauders may be too much. 2 medevacs. Marines once again pulling back. Siege tanks attempting to blast apart all of these Zerglings. 1 siege tank will get destroyed, but the counterattack and the army from SlayerSBoxer is just so strong that I can't really imagine what Sen can do at this stage. Boxer can only lose the game by really hurting himself more than his opponent and trying to trade these armies. Roaches are not upgraded at all. Glio reconstitution hasn't been started. Compared to the 1-1 upgrades of the Marauders and the Marines, it looks like those siege tanks are going to be able to shell out more damage. Once again, Baneling's now trying to find their target. There is not that many Marines though, so without that many Marines, it's going to be rather difficult. Yeah, to mount a decent. Yeah, Baneling's not finding those Marines. It would be rather difficult to mount a counterattack. And there you go. There's the GG from Sen. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for Game 3 in this Best of 3 series.